Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with three S's. I'm your host, Chantele Francis, with a little surprise host today. Miss TJoy is here to talk about The Amazing Race Season 34. How are you, Miss TJoy?
I'm good. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday afternoon. A little 2
Yes.
p.m. little chit chat, which is kind of fun. We're
Yes.
usually
Yes.
nighttime girls.
I know. I know. Prime time is usually our time, but
Prime time
when you
is
got
usually
it,
our
you can
time.
dazzle any time of the day. When you got it, you can, sprinkle it throughout the day.
Yes, let's sprinkle it throughout the day when we can. Now, Miss TJoy, you and I usually talk about these love shows. So this is a little bit of a different energy and vibe to talk about a competitive reality show. So
It
what
is.
is your history with competitive reality TV and with The Amazing Race specifically?
Okay, so with The Amazing Race, when it first came on, I was addicted to it. I watched it all the time. And I took about 3 seasons off. And then I got back excited about it. So I am just all in. I love it. This season is really good. I am, I do like competitive reality shows like, Big Brother. I did like the Challenge USA. I used to watch the Challenge the original challenge all the time and then stopped. So I do like shows like that. I do watch Survivor now. I'm kind of into that now. So I do like, competitive reality shows. I do.
And so, with this season of The Amazing Race, how have you been feeling so far, and who are your top four teams?
Okay.
Or
So
yeah, including teams that might have been eliminated already.
the brothers are my top. I'm a big brother super fan. So of course I'm liking Derek and Claire. And then I like the sisters. I love their story, how they have so many similarities and they were like separated and just found each other. I love them. And then I used to really like the married couple because they were so you wouldn't think that they would be married. She was so tall and he was kind of short, but they really motivated each other and they were so sweet. I kind of like their story. So, but now they're eliminated. And then I like um the who else? I think that's about it. Those are my favorites. Yeah, those are my favorites.
And so, what about this season? So, this season started off with like the scramble. Do you like new twists in the game? Do you like the fact that there's no eliminations this season? Slash, there's like keep on racing, mega legs. What do you think about these couple new twists that have been introduced?
I like it. I like that. So I feel like it makes you go harder. Like you don't every time there's going to be an elimination. So don't just think, "Oh, maybe this is the one." No, you got to go hard every single time. Like you said, it is those keep on racing mega races. So but I like the twist. I like that. I like the different the times and the groups, and I like that. I keep it exciting. Change it up just a little bit. Not enough for people to complain, but just enough to add a little spice.
Well, I don't personally like the group times just because like if I was on the race and like I was able to pull ahead like an hour or two and then the leg ends and it's like, oh, I only have 15-minute lead on my other teams, I'd kind of be like, man, like what was the point of me doing so well and working so hard? So that kind of would frustrate me if I was a racer. I understand from like a producer's perspective that keeping it people clumped in, it's going to be easier for them to be able to film people and they'll have more close foot races at the end or whatnot. So make it a little bit more competitive. But as a racer, I would be irritated big
No,
time.
I get that. No, I understand. That's true. That's true.
Yes. Well, that's just my thoughts. So this episode that we're going to be talking about is La Ville Rose. And so what do you think about their product placement? So they have Expedia app to book a hotel, and they show how easy it is to book a hotel using the Expedia app. Could you tell that this was a commercial for Expedia?
Yes. Yes, I could tell. And I was like, yeah, everybody knows it don't go that quick. So anyway. But I could tell it was a commercial. I was like, oh, okay, that's what we
Yeah.
doing. Okay. We're not even gonna go to commercial break. We're gonna just have the commercial right here in the
Yeah, they're gonna be like,
episode.
oh
Okay.
my gosh, Like, so easy to book my hotel stay with Expedia. It's like
Two of us,
so
king
good.
size bed. There we go. It's done.
So easy. Hi, Sophie. Sophie's hanging out with us. I love
Hi,
Miss TJoy's
Sophie.
name.
Thank you.
Miss TJoy is here in the house, the Reality Realist house today. So they're going to be driving to Toulouse, France. Have you been to France? I can't remember.
I have not been to France.
But it's on your list, right?
It's on my list, and I lived through you and your stories, but I have not been to France.
I mean, I do love myself a little bit of Paris.
Yeah.
I would live there if I could. Right now, I mean, it doesn't work as well as before Brexit, but I'm trying to get my UK or my British passport. So at least I can be over there, maybe go live over there a little bit. I don't know. I kind of want a little bit of a change up. So if I'm over in England, then I just like can pop over to Paris in like an hour.
A little train ride, right?
Yeah, it's very close. Hi, Luna. I miss the gnome. I love when they had to bring it around on task, always chilling in a cool spot. I love the Travelocity gnome.
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was a task still with the gnome. Because they had a task with it last season. So maybe is Travelocity and Expedia competitors, or are they one of the same? I don't know.
The gnome was so cute, though.
The gnome is so cute. Like when they had to give like a little mini bottle to the gnome, I'm like, oh, it's so cute.
So cute.
So cute. So how are you with self-driving? So are you able to read a map?
Okay, so I'm directionally challenged. So I would be the person that would be driving as long as I had a person that I trusted to give me directions. I can take direction very well. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to say, oh, no, we should go there. I am the person that I can do the driving. If you can read the map, tell me exactly where to go. I'll do exactly what you say do, and I'm not going to argue with you. So that's me.
Can you drive standard stick?
I cannot. Well, I can a little, but not enough for me to feel comfortable on the Amazing Race.
But you're going to be driving.
Huh?
But you're going to be the driver.
Oh, I would learn. If I was going on the Amazing Race, though, I would be like, Daddy, please, because he's always like, you need to learn how to really drive a stick. So I would just go, take the time, let him teach me, and I would be good with it. You know, because he drives. That's all pretty much he really likes to drive sticks.
I learned I first learned how to drive on a standard car because my mom had a standard car. And so if I wanted to like borrow the car, like I needed to know how to drive stick. So literally I've told the story a million times, but my mom took me to an empty parking lot and put me on a ramp. Like when it was, I was at a mall after hours, and she put me on a ramp and she's like, all right, you're going to learn how to match. And so basically she taught me how to do put the clutch in and you give it a little bit of gas when you take out the clutch on a hill. So I'd experience it rolling back and then learn how to match. And then I got my license on a standard car. When I was 16 or 17, I did it. So I'm a standard girl. But I'm also, I believe I'm good at reading maps because I grew up reading maps. I always talk about how I used to go to the library to print out map quests when I needed to go somewhere.
These younger people don't know anything about that map quest, boy. I mean, I would print out map quests too, but I would just go by what they said do, like the written out directions or whatever. But yeah, these younger people, they don't know anything about map quests. They're like, what?
What was the other one? There's MapQuest and there was one other one. There was two.
I don't know. I just remember MapQuest.
There was one more though. I can't remember. Hold on. Let's see if it comes up. MapQuest and no, it wasn't Google Maps. It was like I don't think Google Maps even existed.
No, Google Maps didn't exist then. It was definitely MapQuest. I don't remember.
What's the alternative of MapQuest? What was it? That'd be like 1995.
Yeah, do like 95, 96.
Waze was not around then. What are they talking about?
No, it was not. Waze was definitely not around.
Like
that
5 years ago.
Around like 5-6 years ago.
Okay, it doesn't come up. Maybe it was later, but let's try 1998. No, it's saying things like Batch Geo, Esri, Google Maps, Google Earth, Salesforce. Anyways, there was another one I could have sworn that I used to print things out before that wasn't MapQuest, but I definitely use MapQuest more reliably. Hilarious. So yeah, these youngins do not know what we had to go through. I remember, did you have like the yellow book where you had to like look and like find your intersection in the map book? No. Was it like there's a map book? It's probably still in my mom's car that like you used to like find your address if you didn't have the internet, because there was a time before the internet, people, and there
was definitely a time. I remember like yellow pages, white pages, stuff like that.
Yes, newspaper, right?
Paper.
Newspaper, or like paper things that are paper, not just computer.
I mean, people would deliver. They would deliver the paper. They would come and deliver the white pages in yellow pages every year because it had to be updated. They don't know anything about this. I have a client who is 15. She knows nothing about this. She didn't even understand what a rotary. I have a 12-year-old client who didn't know what a rotary phone was. I mean, it's don't even get me started.
I think it's really cool though that we've gotten to experience a big change in technology in our younger years. Like, so like obviously somebody that's like 100 years old is going to have seen a lot of advances in technology, but in 20 years we've seen a lot of significant changes. So I think it's pretty cool that we get to experience the world before and after the internet, basically. I think we're lucky that way. I'm trying to tell myself this. So the brothers want this leg to be mistake free, and you know when you hear that it's going to be riddled with But they are, as usual, leaving in group one. We usually can trust the brothers to be really great at directions and driving, and it seems as though that Michael is the weaker link in the challenges, and that Marcus is usually on the sidelines kind of shaking his head disapprovingly with what Michael is doing, his younger brother. So this is what I'm anticipating. I'm anticipating that Michael is going to do something to bring the team down this episode because of the fact they want it to be mistake-free. And it seems like he's usually the one that makes mistakes. So that's what I was thinking in my head. They're leaving in group one. Also, Emily and Molly, our favorite twins, are going to be leaving in group one. But running irritates Emily's leg, and I am so scared about this damn leg.
Oh, I am. I'm very scared about it. I mean, because she's been able to coast through a little bit, and Molly's been trying to, but that leg and that knee, ma'am, not to finish out strong. Like you have like 5 or 6 more legs, like literally, pun intended, to get through. And I don't know if it's gonna last. I don't.
I'm very worried, but I really, really want them to at least make it to the final. Like the finale, I think that I really feel their story needs them to run the entire race. Whether they win or not, I can deal with, but I just want for their whole journey where they're just like, I just want to stay on this race for longer so I can get to know her even more. And I'm like, yes, you got to stay on the entire season. Yes. I know. So fingers crossed that they're going to do well. So group 2 is going to be Luis and Michelle, and who is a team that I didn't necessarily see that much of in the beginning, but they've grown to be one of my favorite teams. I think they're just so cute, and I love their dynamic. I love that they are becoming a strong competitive team. I'm a fan of Luis and Michelle. You didn't mention them before. Did you forget about them, or are they not on your favorite team list?
I mean, they're not my favorite, but I don't dislike them. I mean, they're, more and more I'm like smiling when I see them, but they're not my favorite.
It's okay. They're so cute. You know that Louise watches this channel, though, right? I'm not kidding, but I'm just teasing you, though.
I like them, though.
But no, I actually do. Actually, they really, really are growing on me, and I can see them also having a little bit of a winner's edit as well. They've thrown at least one a party, like a watch party, and we saw when they won their first leg, and so I'm wondering, like, teams that throw watch parties sometimes win the show.
Yes, very true.
So what's her name? Erica from Survivor season 41. She was throwing watch parties every week to watch the season. And I'm like, people don't all often throw watch parties every week unless they're trying to mask the fact that they win the season and they want it to be consistent. Be like, well, I threw a watch party every week, so it's not going to be like obvious that they're just throwing a watch party when they win. So I was like, okay, so Erica did this. And then I also, I actually hosted the watch party for The Amazing Race Canada, hosted by who ended up being the winners of the season. So I'm like, And then Luis and Michelle, they did host, I don't know if they've been hosting it every single week, but they did host at least one watch party that I saw. And I'm wondering if that is just to kind of mask the fact that they won and they're just going to do watch parties every week. So they are a contender in my head to be a winner, just because how they have emerged. I could see them winning the season. And it seems like they're doing a lot more press and a lot getting out there a little bit more. And so that sometimes is a hint of a potential winner. I can also see Claire and Derek being a winner of the season because of the fact that, did you watch last season with the Holdernesses?
No.
So last season, the team that won, they started like they were always influencers and like they had like a big social media presence, but they were recapping each episode. And so Luis and Michelle are recapping each episode with Michelle's brother, but then Derek and Claire are also recapping. And in the way that they're recapping, to me, comes across as winners, right? Like how the Holdernesses did it. I was like, I can see.
I believe it. Like, I really believe it, that they could be the winners. I really do.
So right now, those are my two teams that I think could win the season. Emily and Molly, I want to win, but I don't feel like they're going to because of this leg.
Yeah.
And after this episode, I'm not sure about Michael and Marcus. But they don't do a lot of press. I did see that they were on Justin, the Green Team's channel this week, and they were talking. I think that's the first time I've seen them do any press or any recaps or be on any channels. So actually, they were last week or this week. I can't remember. Molly and Emily were one of these weeks too. Anyways, point being is I tend to see the people that win the season have a lot of social media presence when their season is airing. So just saying. We'll keep an eye out on this because we're going to be probably finishing up quite soon, like 2 or 3 weeks. So I really like seeing the bromance between Luis and Derek. They're going to be working together this leg. They're doing half hearts to each other. Emily and Molly, I think, though, were saying that was their idea. Like they were doing the half hearts.
Oh.
Wait, so let's see. One. Hi, Logan. Marcus and Michael were also on the Re-Raceables podcast. Oh, I don't know who those people are.
Re-Raceables. Okay.
I like the name. That's cute. I do not know that pod, but I will listen. So them doing more press, it is good for them to like for a winner's edit, but it also could be that they might be leaving soon. I don't know. What do you think, Logan? I mean, if you have any spoilers, I don't want to know, but I'm curious. Who do you think has a winner's edit at this point?
This show is just so fun. When you just start watching, it's just so fun.
I know. I'm in it. Derek and Claire, will they be the third Big Brother couple to win the Amazing Race? Third.
Who
second,
won?
Jessica and Cody. Who else won? I don't know if anybody else won. Boston Rob and Amber came second.
Jeff and Jordan didn't win.
Jeff Jordan didn't win. What's her name?
Brendan and Rachel didn't win.
No, and Rachel did not win with her sister. David and Aubrey appeared on Reality Kingdom podcast a week ago. Derek and Claire are the only team out of the top 7 who have not appeared on any other podcast, which makes me think that they might be a winner. What do you think,
Winner, chicken dinner.
Right now, my winners, between Derek and Claire.
I'm now stuck on anyway. No. I can get boggled down and stuff. Now I'm stuck on that. Like, who's the other couple?
I think Derek and Claire on their podcast, they've been super positive about the changes that they made to improve and said it helped them the remainder of the race. I agree, Diana. They talk about like how they worked really hard to improve their communication. We see when they're driving that Claire is now writing out the landmarks that he needs to look out for so that he can see the names of the streets and be able to recognize them when he's passing them. So that was one of the, changes that they made in their racing. So yes, there are improvements, and the fact that they're super positive about their game. I do feel it has winner vibes to me.
I love that when she was writing that out in hand. I was like, yeah, that's good. I like people who, when they're in their room booked by Expedia, and they're kind of like strategizing and like, what can we do, and not just resting. They're like, what can we do? How are we going to improve? I like teams like that. Like, it's like, I'm in it to win it. I'm not coming this way to be sightseeing and visiting. Okay, I'm in it to win it.
Absolutely. And they've had a strategy the whole time that Claire is going to do any task that's not going to be, they wanted Claire to do as many tasks as possible so that if there's going to be physical challenges, that Derek would be able to bust out the physical challenges and that Claire wouldn't be forced to do a physical challenge because they have to keep their detours balanced. Okay, so Logan's saying Cody and Jess are the only Big Brother team to have won a season of The Amazing Race. A Big Brother team were super close to winning the race in Canada 4. I don't even remember who that is, Logan, and I know I'm in Canada too. I can't remember who that is. Yeah, teams who have their own recap podcasts. Well, definitely, obviously we know Derek and Claire. Luis and Michelle do her brothers. Oh, right. Of course. Of course. Thank you, Logan. The list is coming.
Logan is on it.
I meant second Big Brother couple. For some reason, I thought it was more than one. No problem. I mean, they've done well, a lot of teams, but there's only been one winner so far. Okay, so they had to get on the A20. We see that Michelle and Luis are in the car and they're talking about the dream that she had. That's another thing, though, that also lends me to believe that maybe they could be the winning team because of the fact that she's having so many of these kind of spiritual connections with her father, having, a visitation dream, giving her kind of the energy to do well when they're manifesting the first place. I love the power of manifestation and really putting your thoughts towards what you desire in your life. And so the fact that they were able to manifest a first place win, I appreciate that. So I do feel like they're doing a lot of that work still, visualization, manifesting, and really seeing themselves on the finish line. So that's another reason why I could see them winning this season, is because they have, some of the qualities that I really appreciate in positivity and racing and creating your own reality. So I'm actually really excited to how this is all going to turn out, because right now all the teams I'm pretty into. I like them.
Right.
So group 3 now, leaving at 8:30, is Aubrey and David and Quentin and Maddie. And so Quentin and Maddie are like, we are going to go on the fastest route this time. We're really good at challenges. But like our navigation and choosing the right routes is what really trips us up. So we're really going to make a concerted effort to pick the fastest route. So I'm like, all right, great. And then also Aubrey and David decide to make like a little bit of a change on their interactions. They're like, we're going to speak nicely to each other today. They switch their driving around. And so both teams are making effort to change the way that they're racing in order to potentially improve their standing. So then we see Marcus not being so sure in the directions that he's giving to Michael. And he's like, oh yeah, just go E80. And like, are you sure? And he's like, yeah, just go. And I really feel at that moment that Marcus didn't really fully believe in what he was saying, and he just allowed Michael to get off and go onto the wrong highway, because the highway that was supposed to take said Centre-Ville, I believe. and that means city center. That means probably downtown. That's probably where the stadium is going to be. Probably.
Right.
But he allowed him to veer the other way. And what were you thinking when that was happening?
Well, but he told him to go the other way because he was like, "No, I think we should stay in this," because he was telling him what it said, and he was like, "No, no, you have to go the other way." And I was thinking he usually is so good with direction, but it just seems that lately it's not as good as it at first was. And I was like, "Oh, there's the mistake. They wanted to be mistake free. There we go, ding, ding, ding. Here is the mistake." So.
Yep. So that little mistake allows Emily and Molly to get to the stadium first. So who's ready to take one for the team? So out of me or you, who's going to be ready to take one for the team?
You're gonna take one for the team.
I'm going to take one for the team. I mean, not really a sports person, but I have danced and done gymnastics for halftime shows at football games. So I guess I'll be okay at this. I don't know. We'll see. So basically, they have to do a rugby drill with a rugby team here. I would have to say I would have liked this task to be a little bit more French centric. Like it didn't matter where they were in the world to be able to do this particular task. It was on a big stadium with a rugby team. They didn't have to learn anything French. Like there was nothing different about it. So
yeah,
I would have liked
here. Yeah.
Again?
Yeah, we have rugby here. It wasn't nothing,
exactly.
Yeah.
It wasn't a very French centric, which I would have preferred if it was a little bit more. It had to do with France, but it was a task. So basically, they had to do a drill. They had to, I don't know, catch the ball, hit the target thing, roll.
You had to catch it, then you had to knock it off the thing, then you had to roll on the floor, then you had to get back up, catch it again,
toss it to the person,
and then you toss it a back toss to the person. Then you keep running forward, then they toss it back to you, and then you hold it and kick it over the goal.
Perfect. I mean, it's pretty. I think Emily and Molly were saying
I have short legs. And I don't know how those kicks would have like.
I do have long legs, so yeah, maybe that would be helpful. So Logan has his updated list here. So the people that have podcasts, so Louisa Michelle, Glendon Lumumba. I do watch Glendon and Lumumba sometimes. I haven't seen this week's. I don't know if it's come out yet, but up until this week, I have seen most of theirs. Derek and Claire all have their own recap podcast. And then Linton and Shariq did a one-off recap podcast on Shariq's channel to explain Shariq's Meltdown episode 4. What did you think about that meltdown?
It was such a bit. I just didn't see it coming. Like positive, like so positive. And now you're just having like this full-fledged meltdown. And I just didn't even think it was that serious. Like at the time that the meltdown was happening, but sometimes, it's just that one last straw that broke the camel's back. It's not even about this. It's just, but I just was like, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I was just really disappointed because I knew that it meant a lot for her dad to be there. And so I understand that she was going through her own, mental health and it just was really unfortunate because I just wish that she was able to just
being selfish.
She was being selfish in that moment. Suck it up and do it for her dad. I don't know. So it was just disappointing, but I don't personally haven't experienced mental health issues in that capacity, so I don't know how I might have reacted in that situation. But I wish that she did it for her dad.
I know.
He was such a sweet man.
He was so sweet.
So Logan also says no spoilers, but all of The Amazing Race 35 has finished filming or is about to finish filming today, apparently. People tend to DM me the route and thankfully avoid any significant spoilers. Ooh, well, the only spoiler I want to know is I don't think so, but did Taylor and Joseph get on that season? That's what I would like to know. Or do we have to wait for 36 for them to get on it? Because I know that
I think she said that it was going to have to be 36. I think she said in like a live or something that they weren't going to be able to make the next season.
Oh, dang. So, of course, at the rugby drill challenge, who's ready to take one for the team? It's not going to be Emily doing this one because Emily has her hurt leg, and Molly apparently is the more athletic of the twins. So, yes, you got to run, roll, pick up, pass, catch, and score a drop kick is what they're going to be doing on the blow of the whistle. So, yep, I'm like, oh boy, Marcus and Michael are in traffic. Marcus is not going to be able to handle this because he gets so frustrated.
He gets so frustrated.
So Molly does get this on the fourth try, and she was in just such good spirits like the whole time. She's just like
Really?
super happy,
Yeah.
and like I think it's also like getting to try it over and over again without having any other teams there probably is a good feeling as well. It's like, oh, I could do this as many times as I want. I'm like, we're ahead. We're really far ahead. So they are going to have to go to the Coup de Jacobin after. Because Molly does get it after her fourth try and no other teams had arrived. Then I wrote down, why is Claire doing this? I thought he's supposed to be doing the athletic things. And then I do like their commentary is really funny because like she's like, like I was not drafted. I was recruited.
Yes.
Like,
he was like
you were walking
he was
by?
like, you talked to those people one time. He was like, basically, I was about to be, they were trying to get me on the rugby team. He was looking at her like, Claire, come on now.
He's basically saying like, oh, they were recruiting and you walked by. And they're like, hey, do you want to be on the rugby team?
Right.
And then Marcus and Michael finally do show up after pretty much after group 2 all showed up. And so they're kind of in fourth place at this point, Marcus and Michael. And I believe what Claire and Derek were saying that they couldn't find the clue box. And so Luis and Michelle, Claire and Derek, they'd all kind of found the clue box. And then Marcus and Michael came in after them, like searching, like, where's the clue box? So they were firmly in fourth place. We also didn't see it, but both of those two teams were saying that they had thought they'd found the proper marked parking lot, and they were out and they were celebrating because they had to find, I think it was parking lot B, and they saw what they thought were marked pylons, and so they parked and they're super excited for getting there and getting there with the directions. And then it was just like some small little stadium like for kids, and there was no camera crew, there was no nothing there. So they're like, oh, this must be wrong. And then they saw the actual stadium. So they actually completely went to a wrong stadium that had the same like information that they had for this big stadium, but and they were celebrating over it. So we didn't get to see that, which I would have liked to see, like them completely messing up and like being really excited about it. So Luis does it, and he does it easily. He gets second place. He gets probably some rug burns on his knees as he does like a nice slide after he gets it.
He was going hard.
He was good though. He got it on his first try. And then Miss Claire, I was discounting her. She got it on her first try as well.
He told you she was basically about to be recruited as a rugby team. Come on, give her some credit here.
So she didn't look like a rugby team player doing it, but she got the kick. That's the
she has long legs, because that's why I was saying you got to take one for the team because you have long legs. That helps.
I probably, yes, it probably does help. But Claire got it on her first try as well. I'm like, oh yes, Claire, first kick. All right. And then I wrote down, oh shit, Marcus can't kick.
For nothing.
Hello, Kathy. Good afternoon. Thanks for popping in here. Luna says Derek and Claire are giving the perfect Gen Z comments. Yes, their commentary is really fun. Diana says Derek only had 2 roadblocks left, so he wanted to save his opportunities because they know that there's a trend of physical challenges being at the end. Absolutely. And but I was just like, I keep on forgetting that. I'm always like, why are you letting Claire do this one? I just thought that she might be there for a while, but she proved me wrong, which is fine. So Logan says this morning, Dawn and Mary Jean of Amazing Race 6 passed away. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry to hear that. They were an old couple who accidentally stole Adam and Rebecca's car in leg 2 and caught fish in Senegal because Dawn vomited in the water. Oh my god, this is like literally 20 years ago. I don't remember this at all. I'd have to see a clip to be reminded of it, because I watched every season, but in real time. Wow, I'm
so
sorry to hear
to
that though. I'm definitely gonna go and take a look back and just be reminded of them so I can pay my respects.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you for the information, Logan.
Mhm.
So then I went, oh, the twins en route to the next task get stuck in a parking garage. So when I saw the P with the arrow, that, like, to me that looked like parking that way. And so I don't know how they didn't have that same thought process.
I don't know. I felt like they were starting to get flustered because I was thinking that too. I was like, why are you going that way?
And then they don't have credit
like,
cards.
they'll take cards. And I'm like, ugh.
So she had to like go run up upstairs and pay the machine to get I was like, oh my goodness. I'm like, Molly and Emily, please do not get eliminated this leg. Please.
Right.
Please. So Big Brother and Team Croquettes are still working together, and they get to the next task in first place. So it is say 6 or lay bricks. Which one would you choose?
Say 6 or lay bricks. I thought when I read the comment, I was like, lay bricks. I don't know why, but I was just like, lay bricks.
That's what I mean. I speak a decent amount of French. But I think that I would have also done lay bricks, because at least you can control exactly how that's happening. It's a puzzle that you're probably putting together type thing. And there's only one way to do it and get it right.
Exactly.
With say 6, I would be worried about accents and like how strict are they going to be? How difficult are the words going to be? Are you going to need to have like that, that you need sometimes in French?
How many sentences? And I just was like, let me just do the bricks. I was like,
I would have just done the bricks, just not sure how the French poem, how difficult it was going to be to do well. So that would have been my thought for sure. Luna says that parking garage was shocking. I know. We don't have to pay if it's under a few minutes. I wonder how long they were in there. Yeah, usually if you just go like all the way around, you can go right through. I agree with that. So
I didn't understand that either. And I was like, maybe it's different over there, because I'm like, what is going on? Like, why can't they just go directly through?
Like, what happens if there was no parking spots left? You'd have to pay to get out?
I don't know. I just didn't get that.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I thought it was very, very strange. So, I mean, Derek took 4 years of French. So in his channel, he's like, yeah, that's almost like 1 year of French for every line of poetry. So he was pretty confident that he was.
Yeah, he wants to redeem himself because he couldn't roll his R's and do all that other stuff. So now he's like, oh, I took French and this will be fine. This will be fine.
I mean, 3 lines of a French poem each, not too bad, but it's very, in my opinion, very difficult to say. If you say French incorrectly, it doesn't make sense, right? Like in English, I find like if people are making mistakes with like the sentence, you can still understand what they're trying to say.
Right.
But in French, I find that if you say something wrong, you're actually just not saying anything at all. And so that's why I thought it was going to be a harder challenge. Kathy says high school wasn't that long ago for him. No, I can't remember how old he is. For me, that would have been 40 years ago, Kathy. I know, right?
Yeah, and I think you said he took some in college too, Kathy. So yeah.
It's still, I mean, he's in his 20s, so not too long. And he hasn't even had his 10-year high school reunion, I don't think
right.
I do not think so. So Quentin and Maddie, forgot about them, but they're
bringing up the rear. That's why.
The long route. How did they take the long route? I feel as though, or I believe that the Amazing Race was providing them with maps. So I think that everybody has the same maps to use, because they're all going to be self-driving legs. So how they took the longer route, it was just, I just didn't understand. I was like, why? How'd you take a long route here?
Remember they asked somebody?
Mm-mm.
I thought they asked somebody.
They might have.
I don't know. But they also don't have anybody that they're working with. Nobody to like, they're bringing up the rear, and they also don't have a couple to play off like Derek and Claire, and have another couple. And then even though the twins and the brothers don't work together, because they're always so close, they kind of play off each other, they can watch each other, whatever. They're always like kind of in the rear, and it just seems like they don't have any kind of dynamic or kinship with any other couple. And it just always seems like they're by themselves and don't know what's going on, and they just got to make it work themselves, you know?
I know. I mean, I would have loved to see more of them, but they just were never interacting with other people because they're so far in the back.
Exactly.
But finally, Marcus does kick it. I don't know how many tries that they did. Logan, how many tries?
It was 5, right?
5? Okay.
He had 4 unsuccessful, and then I think on the 5th one he got it.
Quentin and Maddie got pulled over by the police. Okay.
Oh.
What happened? Did they show this, or am I just forgetting?
They got pulled over by the police.
So when Marcus finally kicks it, they leave right before Aubrey and David get there. And I just wrote down, these brothers are making mistakes, even though they want this to be a mistake-free leg.
Mm-hmm.
So the Croquettes were also going to be doing the Say 6 with Derek and Claire. They started with the first 2 lines, I believe, and trying to learn it. And they pretty immediately decide to switch it up and go to lay bricks. And when they get to lay bricks, nobody else was there. But then the twins do show up to lay bricks. So after the 4th attempt, though, on the kicking, Aubrey does get the goal. And this is before Maddie and Quentin get there, but they do see them, which is probably giving Quentin and Maddie a little bit of hope that, like, oh, I see a team, so at least we know that we are kind of in the mix.
Still in it, yeah.
So Derek and Claire fail at their first attempt of Say 6 with their poetry. Like, my point was, like, when I'm listening to them, I do not understand what they were saying, right? And so I would have been worried that my partner wouldn't have said things correctly, or they would have been very strict. And
that's why I would have done the bricks.
Okay, so Logan's saying that, yeah, Quentin and Maddie being pulled over went completely unaired in episode 8, sadly. They said it was the biggest reason why they couldn't catch up. Wow.
Oh, was he speeding? Was he
No, they said it in their exit interviews. It wasn't shown. They didn't say why. Oh.
Was it for speeding?
I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, why do we know why they were pulled over, or were they going the wrong way on the one way? Like, what happened? What happened? Brutal, though. That sucks. That's big.
Right.
Oh, I think they ran a red light. Not good.
Oh, trying to hurry up. Okay.
I mean, that's probably a mistake. Maybe a lonely French police officer. Yeah. Aw. Désolé.
Yes.
So Quentin, though, on the rugby task, he was pretty good at it. He got it on his first try. He does an aerial walkover or aerial cartwheel after he's done. And they're pretty happy, excited, and they are off to meet up with everybody else, hopefully.
I knew it wasn't going to take, I knew that once they got there, it wasn't going to take them long because of all that dancing and stuff and those long legs. I was like, they're going to kick it on the first try.
Kick it. Can we kick it? Yes, we can. So we see Derek and Claire back at Say 6, and they seem to get it on their second attempt from what they showed us. I think I heard, I could be mistaken, that there was more tries. They had more attempts than just 2, but they only showed us 2.
Okay.
I believe it was maybe 6 attempts, but I could be making that up. So they're going to be heading off to the pit stop, though, Derek and Claire. And they're like, are we racing for first? Maybe. And I'm like, I'm pretty excited for them because they kind of been having a little bit up and down. They started off high, and they started to go lower. And, but they're back up to potentially racing for first place. Where when it's become more competitive. When the teams are getting smaller, it's harder to get first place, I would say, and easier to get eliminated. So the fact that they are going to run to the pit stop and get that first place, and they're winning reward points to Bangkok. I was pretty impressed with that. Have you been to Bangkok?
I have not.
Me neither. I would go though. I would.
You would
I
go? Is it on your bucket list, or you're just saying you would go? It's not on my list, but I mean,
not on my
gave me a free
list.
trip, I would go.
Of course. My list right now would be Spain. I think I need to be in Spain. Egypt.
I want to go to Greece.
Greece is up there. Those are my top things that are on my list right now.
Mm-hmm.
Gian and I were there for a couple of weeks last. Oh, really? Okay. Mm-hmm. How was it? Did you enjoy it? I mean, I would go for the food for sure.
I heard. That's what I was about to say.
I've been to both Italy and England. I'm going to go back to England because my dad was born there and I haven't met one of my cousins before. So I want to go. I was supposed to go in 2020, but then the world shut down.
I have been to Italy. I've loved that. I've been to Rome and Florence, Italy, and so I've loved Italy, but I have not been to England.
What country or city do you think you could win a leg in? All of them. All of them, but pardon?
I told Luna, I don't know.
I mean, I think it'd be difficult maybe in in cities where I don't understand the languages at all. So I would be challenged definitely by like India or China or Japan would be maybe potentially challenging just to completely not know the language, not know any grammar structure, and not be able to read the language at all. Mm-hmm. So I would say that those would be more difficult, but I have a pretty decent understanding of Spanish, a pretty good knowledge of French. I think I could wrestle out things in Italy because it's similar to both of those other languages. So I think that any of the romantic languages, I would be fine. Like countries, I could do fine in. I think. Kathy's son is going to Japan in March to visit a friend studying in Kyoto. He's so excited. Yes, one of my best friends lived in Japan for many years. I didn't get a chance to visit her while she was living there, but she brought back a Japanese boyfriend, and so they're probably going to go move back to Japan soon. And so,
oh wow, that's what you call bringing home a souvenir, honey.
Yeah, she brought home a Japanese boyfriend that's been living with her for years. Which is, they're together, so she could probably teach me a little bit of Japanese, and maybe a little bit. I'd probably, if I was winning the race though, I would learn like every alphabet of like the top 10 major languages, and how to read like basic sentences. So Logan loved Bangkok. Busy. There are a lot of food stalls. We went to Phuket and planned to be there for 2 weeks. We ended up staying there for over 4 months. Wow, that's really amazing.
That is amazing.
Then we went to Georgia, Armenia, and Israel after spending a couple days in Bangkok before leaving Thailand in April this year. Wow, these are like all amazing places that I've not been to.
My best friend went to Thailand. She had a overnight in Japan. She stayed there just one night, and then she went to Thailand, and she really liked Thailand.
That I didn't even really think about that, but that is really cute. It is an anagram. I never noticed that. Yeah, that's cute. Okay, so let's just finish up with this episode and this leg. So we see that Miami is in the house. They do end up finishing the lay bricks before the twins. Well, I don't know how the order, but they get to the pit stop second. The twins do get there third. I wrote down cried. So I don't know if I cried for Derek and Claire or cried for the twins, but I cried at some point at the pit stop. Or did they
cry at the twins, I think, because they were just, saying how they.
Oh, because Luis cried. Because when the twins were telling their story, I think, because they were at the mat at the same time, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think. I could be wrong. I don't know. I could be wrong. could be wrong about some of these things. Fourth place, the brothers. The brothers did not do well this leg. Did they do lay bricks? I don't even remember what they did.
No, they
six.
I think they did the French, didn't they? Hold on. I think Lewis and they the only ones that did the bricks, right? No,
Lewis and the sisters. Yeah, I guess they
and
did.
The sisters. Those were the only two. Everybody else did the French.
Yeah,
I didn't understand why everybody else didn't do the bricks, but everybody else did French.
Right, and Aubrey. So basically, the brothers get there in fourth place, and they're trying to make it seem like Aubrey and David and Quentin and Maddie are in like a foot race, but you knew like basically Aubrey and David were going to get tested when Maddie and Quentin show up to say six. So I wasn't fooled, unfortunately. But we do see that the French woman was like set exact to when Maddie and Quentin do theirs. And actually their pronunciation was pretty decent, to be honest. But they were not able to get there faster than Aubrey and David. So Maddie and Quentin will be exiting this race. Oh boy. So we have our final four teams. So we have Derek and Claire, we have the twins, we have the brothers, and we have Team Croqueta. They're going to be starting this mega leg. So it's going to be a mega leg this week, and I'm assuming next week. And then I would assume the week after that would be the finale. Final three.
Wow. So we have five. No, we have 5 teams left. Right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, you're right. Sorry. Who did I forget? Oh, I didn't say Aubrey and David, I think.
Yeah.
Correct. So Mega Leg will lose a team, so there'll be final 4, and then so maybe it's a month? No. Maybe, I guess.
Probably a week or 2 right before Christmas.
But I guess on the 14th, is it going to end the same night as Survivor finale? No, it wouldn't. It would be the week before that, I would assume. Logan, when does this show end? Tell us, please. Please. Amazing travels. I know. I'm very jealous as well.
Yeah, hello.
Logan, why have you gone on to the Amazing Race Canada? I think that you'd be so good. Oh, hear me out. The Amazing Race only in the States, but they have to use Spirit or Frontier and have to check
honey. I might look. Some of those people not gonna be able to know what to do with Spirit. They're gonna be so upset dealing with Spirit. Okay.
I've never dealt with either of them. Obviously,
Let
I'm
me
in
tell
Canada.
You, Spirit is something like Soul Plane. It's crazy. It's crazy. They charge you for everything. It's so unorganized. It's terrible.
It sounds like the airline that I work for. Sometimes
they don't even give you free snacks.
No, we don't do that. We used to, and since I got back, they took away everything. So we had to charge. We charge for pop now. Before we didn't charge for pop, but now it's $2.99 for a can of Coke. I'm like, what?
Oh no!
So 52 countries in the past 5 years. Wow. When I started traveling, I met my fiance during my travels, and sadly, I'm so sorry to hear that, Logan. Wouldn't regret a minute of it. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry.
I'm
sorry, your travel partner. Well, hopefully they are with you in spirit and want you to continue traveling. Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. You have great memories.
Yes, absolutely great memories of these travels. And probably when you watch these shows and you see places that you've been together, you get to, kind of be reminded of each other and your time together. Oh, sorry. So the finale is December 7th. I'm flying from Vancouver, Canada to the finale viewing party. Whose viewing party are you going to see, Logan? Where are you going? That will probably also be indicative of who's going to win. Are you going to California? Is that where Derek and Claire are? Are you going to Team Croqueta? They're in Miami, right? Yeah. So are you going to Miami? Where is the viewing party?
Yes. So where is the viewing party?
Kathy's also. So we're all very sorry for your experience. That's what I'd like to know as well. Well, thank you, Miss TJoy, for popping in. Is there anything about this episode, this season, that you would like to still talk about?
No, it's just that I'm enjoying watching it, and that's great.
Me too. Me too. Well, thank you everybody for being here with us at a new time. Just wanted to make sure that we got an episode in so we can have the full complete set when I'll probably go live tomorrow, hopefully with Jonathan tomorrow evening to do tonight's episode of The Amazing Race. But yeah, it's been fun.
I'm concerned about her knee and her leg.
I'm hoping that
Tonight.
the fact that they're showing it
I
doesn't
know.
mean that they're going to go home.
Ugh.
I'd rather not say DM after because viewing party tends to result in spoilers, but not always. Okay, okie dokie. I will ask you privately. My prediction is David and Aubrey, the twins, go out at the end of the mega leg. I mean, David and Aubrey haven't been consistently good. Yes, they have had a first place win, or no, second place win, I think is their top leg performance, right? Every other team has had it.
Didn't they get a first place?
They might have.
With the broken wooden wagon thing. Wasn't it?
They were second there, and I think that was Team Croquetta's was first, and they were second.
Oh. Okay.
I could be wrong though.
I don't know.
Because I just remember there being two dancing teams in the front, but Luis and Michelle have had 2 leg wins. Same with Derek and Claire. Same with the boys. Same with Molly and Emily. I don't remember Aubrey and David having 2 wins. I agree. I do think the other things are stronger. I think that Molly and Emily would be strong if they didn't have that injury, because Molly is going to have to do. Sorry, Emily is going to have to do a bunch of roadblocks or detours, whatever it is. Last year's finale was organized by Lulu and Lala, so in occasion, not necessarily a spoiler. True. But was the winning team there? I think so. So we'll see.
Well, I had fun.
Sorry, thanks, Gina. Molly and Emily only won? Okay, I thought they won 2, but okay. Well, this has been fun, guys. I love talking about The Amazing Race. I also did a recap with Sasha from the Silent Podcast about this episode, so that's already posted as well. I believe that's going to be on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and other places where you receive your podcasts. Kathy's also saying here, if there wasn't the injury playing into it, there would be a strong team. Absolutely. Worried. Well, Miss TJoy, where can people find you?
You can follow me on all social media platforms at Miss TJoy. Yes, thank you so much for having me on this.
Of course. Thank you for being here and being willing to jump in and talk about a show that we don't usually talk about. So thank you.
Right. You're welcome.
So if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. We're building a community of people that love watching and talking about all these reality TV shows that take up so much of our time. Please like this video and let us know who are your top 3 teams and who do you think might be going out after the mega leg. We want to know your thoughts, what you are thinking. Let us know in the comments and we can continue with this conversation. Yes, we're happy to have you here, Kathy. We will see you soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Take care.